You keep going then. There ain't gonna be no Yale Nance the Fifth. Welcome to the Squadcast movie podcast episode number.
Oh God, what?
29? Hey, that's actually funny.
I want to say 29.
Now I'm 29.
Yeah, happy birthday!
Yes, thank you. Today's my birthday. My 29th birthday, and we decided to celebrate it with a movie podcast.
That we did.
Today, for this episode, we're doing 2016 Shin Godzilla. And, oh God, I think it's like 2004, Holes.
2003.
Yes, The Great Holes, based on the book by Louis Sachar. Which, I don't think it needs too much of a formal introduction if you're our age.
Absolutely not.
Yeah, Holes was my pick, Shin Godzilla was yours. And we will start with Shin Godzilla.
Hell to the yes.
I leave it to you, buddy, your recommendation.
Well, okay. So, I mean, Shin Godzilla, as we know, it's in the verse of the Godzilla series. It is a little bit, I guess I would say
it's like a remake.
Yeah, kind of like a remake, yeah. But it's a different version of Godzilla. So basically, the creator of this one was the creator. I don't know if you've ever seen it, and maybe not. If you haven't, we'll put it on the list. Is the creator of Neon Genesis Evangelion, which is like a really, really big like anime movie that was.
Okay.
It's a hit. It's really, really good.
But add it to the list.
Yeah, we'll add it to the list. But it was made by him, and so this could. So it was heavily inspired by that. So then this one was inspired also by the 2011 Fukushima nuclear disaster and the Japanese government. The Japanese government's agonizingly slow, red tape heavy response to it, and then instead of the prehistoric like normal beast that Godzilla is, this Godzilla is more of a rapidly like evolving, super grotesque, biological anomaly form of Godzilla that's in constant agony, mind you. And what I find very funny is the final evolution that we get to see of this Godzilla within the movie isn't even the final evolution of its lifespan. So I'm really hoping one day we get another, iteration of this movie where we get to see, basically the thing turn into God.
Well, I mean, yeah, it seemed like if it had done that, they would have all been screwed.
Well,
so I think they couldn't have that happen because they wanted it to be a happy ending.
That is fair, and I still question whether it's actually a happy ending or not, because I'm like, we'll get there.
Relatively compared to Godzilla destroying the whole world.
Yes, that is very true. I mean, what Godzilla destroy all monsters? I think is the one where he fights Mothra. They literally just destroy it. They blow up the entire city. There's nobody left.
Yeah. Yeah. So let me just come clean up. I've never watched anything Godzilla before.
Are you serious?
Nah,
dude,
never.
We need to.
Anything.
We need to do.
Yeah,
I have many. Okay, yeah,
we'll do some more Godzilla stuff.
Oh my God,
but,
I have so many. Yeah, we'll do some more.
Yeah. So I didn't entirely know what to expect. I saw that it was made by Japan, not America. So actually, you know what? I had seen parts of the American one from 1999. I don't know. I think that's like a Roland Emmerich movie or something, which is just kind of just a dumb action movie.
Let's see, Godzilla 1999. Yeah, I gotta check this out now. I don't remember.
Yeah, it's got some people in it, but I had seen parts of that one. But other than that, no, not really.
That's so wild to me. Well, I guess I shouldn't say wild, but you're a big movie guy, and I feel like there's been so many Godzillas that come out that one of them had to have piqued your interest.
I don't know, man. I've never. Yeah, especially because I like a lot of Japanese movies, but I don't know. Yeah, I just never. I don't know. I guess to me, I didn't really know anything about the story, and so to me, it always just looked like any kind of monster story. So and I always seemed like things that made it cool were like the sound effects and like the monster that they made for the movie. Which, by the way, I couldn't help but notice how many old stuff and like old looking shots and old sounding music was in this movie, like including like some old they used like sounds of Godzilla that they kind of repurposed. And so I actually watched a little bit of the original Godzilla this morning just to see like how much of this movie is like that one.
So,
and it's different.
Well,
yeah.
Funny enough that you bring this up, this is actually in my notes. So the roar that they did for Shin Godzilla, it's blended with the original roar from 1954. So it's like the original Godzilla's roar mixed in with the new agonizing like evolution of this
maybe
Godzilla.
even I would need to hear it again. I guess I only heard an old sound, but like that probably makes more sense.
Yeah, and then for the actual movie score, again the same. They brought in the composer of Evangelion, which we'll have to watch to do this. And in Evangelion, it's very like apocalyptic and stuff. So they wanted to bring that same kind of like apocalyptic, like dread, like oh fuck, this thing is like literally gonna kill everybody, like kind of feeling to this version of Godzilla.
Yeah. There's, I don't know. I guess I kind of have. Okay, I have kind of mixed feelings about how the movie's overall. I don't know how it's presented. I guess because I like that they're. I don't know. I think it's cool that they're showing like the perspective of the government. And obviously, they're trying to focus on the inefficiencies of government, the problem, red tape. You know what red tape is? I can tell you if you don't know.
Like actual red tape or like.
It's basically the process in government of which you want a problem done, you have to go through all these hoops and ladders just to like talk to somebody about it, and that's just to even. Right, it's basically the thought that like, okay, we're at a point where we have too many government departments, we have too many people like to oversee this. There's actually a movie I love that we'll eventually do on this pad called Ikiru that does a great job with this, where people want to get like this big dangerous like creek that's right next to a kids park like sealed up or something, and they'll show them having to talk to the guy who's in charge of land, and then the guy who's in charge of construction, and then the guy who's in charge of public safety, and then the guy who's in charge of financial things. Like, you have all these guys in place to try to make things run smoothly, but they're actually making nothing happen at all.
Right.
Yeah, so I like that they do that. I think that's cool. There are some small technical issues that aren't really issues with the film. They're more with the fact that I am having to read subtitles, because every time they introduced somebody and had the freaking name next to of what they were, I had to pause it.
to read it all?
Yes, I didn't have time, and they're talking while they're showing that, so I have to read those subtitles too. I'm like,
yeah, no, it does. It doesn't do it does give you a lot of information all at once, and a lot of things.
No, and that kind of annoys me because that wasn't a problem with Godzilla 1956 when I watched it. Because a big part of that being, it's like when they're showing it in the 2016 one, they're showing the name in English and in Japanese, which okay, they just added the English to the Japanese, that's fine, that makes sense. But if it's being captioned in English for American viewers, it should just only show the English part, which was what the old Godzilla movie, they just replaced the text with English. And that makes it a lot more straightforward.
Right.
I could see that. Also, the names of everything they do is really wrong. Ambassador for the government of public safety and science or something. I'm like, man, I don't have time for this. So I don't know. That, I guess, isn't really a problem with the movie, but it made them watch a little bit annoying.
That's
but
fair.
It's okay.
I can see that. I can see that. I get it.
And I guess my only other my only other issue with that is, they, I don't know. I guess it kind of reminded me of a lot of dumb American movies with the dialogue, because I don't know. There's a lot of moments where they'll be like, I don't know. Let's just say I don't know. There's so many times where like the guy thinks, oh, there might be an actual giant creature, and everybody in the room just like laughs it off, and then like 2 seconds later, oh, there's the giant creature, and then they'll be like, oh, we think it's evolving. No, that's impossible. Like, and then like 2 seconds later, oh wait, it's evolving. Like, how many times is it like, do we need somebody, like a person in the room to be a stupid in denial?
Right.
About,
No,
like,
I guess
what we, the viewer, already know is like obvious.
They did make like the ministry or whatever you want to call them. Like they did make them unbelievably idiotic for no reason, and
it's just like
it's like, guys, we know it's there. Like, you don't have to do all this.
Right. Like I guess there's just other ways to show government efficiency besides this guy's dumb, but it's okay. I mean, it drove the point across.
Right.
Yeah, like then there was a part where, I don't know, there's just a couple of things where there's like an obvious choice, like declaring a state of emergency because there's a giant fucking dinosaur in the city.
A laser-breathing dinosaur just came into our fucking city, and you mean to tell me this isn't a fucking emergency?
We've never called state of emergency
done this before.
We've never had to use our military before.
Squidward, like, dude.
Like, I understand that there's red tape. I understand that government efficiency is a thing, and that choices and like obvious solutions can sometimes be clouded. But this one feels like one where should be no disagreement whatsoever. And there was even a point where there was a crowd chanting, "Let the monster is alive, let it live," or something. Like, that would not be happening.
Right? People would be fucking flipping out. Everybody would be literally flipping out. Are you kidding me?
This thing that's stomping through my house, that just stomped my house flat.
I just watched it eat a fucking nuclear missile in the jaw, and it's still walking. I don't think we should be here anymore. What the fuck is going on?
It's just eat a nuclear missile in the jaw.
Like, come on, people. We see what's going on here. Get the fuck out of the way. Like, let's get out of here. Okay. There's nothing that we can do. Let it have the land. There's nothing left for us. Let's go.
There's also just like a couple. They're not huge issues. They're just like tiny ones that kind of made me laugh. Like how the girl that's supposed to be the American diplomat is just so obviously Japanese, and when she speaks English, she has a pretty thick Japanese accent that she's clearly trying her hardest to cover up, but she can't really do it. And and I guess you could make an argument that a Japanese person could be in that role, and like they're just representing the United States a lot, but I don't know, just. What I understand about accents is as you spend a lot of time in another country, you do start to get a little bit of that country's accent. And somebody who's spending that much time in America would not still sound that Japanese. I don't know. I'm thinking about it too hard, but it's just fun. And I think what kind of made it, like, confirmed it for me is that, like, there were definitely moments where she was trying to like sound American, and it's fine. I mean, Liam Neeson still has this problem. Right, he can't. Rewatch Taken and think about how much of it, and think about the fact that he's Irish, and you'll never. There's so many scenes where that is clearly an Irish man talking. He can only cover it into British.
He can only cover it. Yeah, that's fair.
Which every Irish actor can do, so. But anyway, it was just funny. It mostly just made me giggle. There were still some filmmaking techniques that I liked. You know, with the music, I don't know. I guess I have somewhat mixed feelings, only because I kind of liked, my favorite parts were kind of the ones with no music. Like the first 5-10 minutes of the movie is they're just running their footage. They're just running their footage. They're not playing any background music. I thought that was pretty cool and setting the tone. and like
Right.
the seriousness of the movie. It only like bothered me sometimes when like they took on music that was a little bit of a less serious tone. Like they would get like those like a group of like scientists together and they would start playing like the wrong, like I don't know, like quick dun 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 kind of music.
Yeah,
I
no,
don't know.
I hear you. Well,
And
I mean,
that kind of messed with the tone for me a little bit.
I
So,
I get
but
it. I mean, I think so. Like there were definitely were some like there were some areas where like they just put in random sounds for sure. But there was also like you said the silence moments. Excuse me. There were some really good moments of silence, and like they kind of did it similar to -1. And like in one of my absolute favorite scene is like I'm pretty sure it cuts silent, and it's like he's starting to do like the fire breath, but then it turns into the fucking purple laser beam. That fucking scene, one is just my favorite scene in the entire
mhm.
movie, but two, like the way that they utilize the silence before it happens, I thought was so perfect. And then you just see pure fucking like destruction and
Okay.
mayhem.
So Godzilla, it's that's another two like set of different movies, like Godzilla minus zero and Godzilla minus one.
Yeah, so Godzilla minus one came out. Let's see, when did it come out? And then the new one is coming out this year. Yeah, so Godzilla minus one came out in 2003 or 2023, which this iteration of Godzilla, arguably one of the best as well. But it's literally a completely different like look to
All
the
right,
Godzilla
we'll
you see in Shin
just.
Godzilla, and then Godzilla minus zero is the follow up to this one that's coming out. It's
Oh,
supposed to
okay.
come
So
out this
got
year.
minus zero is the
So
newer
zero's the
one.
follow up to
Okay.
one. Shin is its own thing.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. We'll just probably just do our give that its own episode.
Oh, absolutely. Godzilla minus one is going. You're gonna love this one. I know you are. And it's the fucking
Um,
uh, the way they like animated it and stuff like that. It's really really good. You'll like it.
Godzilla looks a little weird in this one, in my opinion.
Well, yeah, that's the point. This
I
Godzilla, it
know.
looks different than any of the other Godzillas because it's a Godzilla that isn't fully like reptilian.
Well,
It's
until
constantly
yeah,
evolving.
until he gets to the later stages, he starts to look like I don't know. I feel he looks like the old one, I guess, a little
Yeah,
bit.
well, it is in the fourth form that we see it in the movie. He looks like I think it's the fourth form. He
When he
looks
starts
like
standing up.
yeah, he starts standing up, but then there's three more forms after that which go fucking crazy. But unfortunately, we didn't get to see them.
Yeah. um, but I was talking about the filmmaking techniques. There is a part. Honestly, I wish some of them were utilized a little bit more. I do like some of the framing that they use in the bureaucratic scenes with the like how the tables are set and the guys sitting. Sometimes they'll like pan the camera across the table, or they just show everybody's face like as it goes across. Uh, but I think my favorite part camera work dude is like that one of the like I don't know. I guess one of the more tense. I shouldn't say tense scenes, but it's when they're the American diplomat lady telling the other guy, who are kind of the characters I recognize the most. The younger guy who seems to have a lot of good ideas, even though in the beginning the guy's like, "Hey, don't embarrass me." Like, and he spends the rest of the movie doing the complete opposite of that. Like, I don't know what you were worried about, man. But anyway, she's telling him that like the U.S. might use that nuke, and the camera's like pulling away from them, like off to the left, until like they're kind of like out in a distance off to the side as the shot closes, and it was cool. It did a couple things, like the pulling away kind of communicates the emotion of like I don't know, they feel like they're getting smaller, or they they feel, or like she feels in a box in a way, I guess. But also it's like reestablishing a new shot when it gets to that part. Like they could have just cut to that where they're at a distance from the camera, but they wanted to like pull away and settle on a new shot, which is very I don't know, it's Kurosawa-esque.
Right.
It's I don't know, it's cool. And And also, I don't know. I don't know if it's a coincidence, but I feel like some of the film's strongest filmmaking techniques are tied to when it talks about some of the issues with its government bureaucracy, and it slips this in a couple times, probably not even enough, that like what a lot of government officials, I guess, probably more than I even considered, talk about, which is their relationship to us, America, because we occupied Japan after we beat them in World War II, and we kind of reshaped a lot of parts of their society, and there were a lot of benefits to that, but they also kind of became like our colony. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like it's true, and some of them feel, at least a lot of them over there, feel like they never stopped being that. Like the occupation ended in like the 50s, but they've been serving a lot of U.S. interests, in some ways maybe like against their own, which I'm not well versed in Japanese politics, so I don't know how many of them are actually saying this, but from an American left perspective, I've been kind of aware of this for a while, that this has been like a thing. I don't know. It's interesting to me that like a director there is willing to throw tidbits of that into his movie to make that point. Like you almost get backlash for it, I wonder.
Right.
But it's cool. I like that. It's kind of something I kind of believe in, and it's something I stand for a bit. It's just like countries full like autonomy and stuff in situations like that, because you could see like there are good politicians in the movie half the time like worried about what the U.S. will say all the time, like, oh, what will the U.S. think? Like, I don't know, isn't this happening in your country, not the U.S.'s? You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, oh, the U.S. might use a nuke because it might hit Western waters, because we don't want it to do that. Keep it over there, keep it over there in Japan.
Right.
You know what I mean?
No, I get
like,
you. I get you.
Yeah, so I like that. I almost wish they did that more, but they they couldn't make it fully about government bureaucracy, or else it would be the I don't know, it would probably be the most boring Godzilla movie ever. So I get that. They had to sell some tickets at least, so they had to actually have some Godzilla scenes, and yeah, they were pretty good. I am kind of curious how like -1 and -0 look like in terms of
I promise
graphics
you,
and stuff.
like, so -1, absolutely gorgeous, 2023. There was Godzilla Godzilla Destroy All Monsters, I think, was the other one that was really good, but that one came out. Wait, was it called Godzilla? I'll have to look it up. But there was another one where
the American ones.
Godzilla, it's like fighting, or maybe it's Godzilla versus Mothra. Yeah, that might be that one. They did a couple of those, but that was really good. I will say the one, the American one, like the 1998 one or whatever, that's just Godzilla, that takes place in like New York. That one is trash. That's off. That one is awful.
Yeah,
that isn't even
it's
Godzilla. That's just a fucking T-Rex, bro. Like a T-Rex and some little raptors. That might as well be Jurassic Park. That one is ass, and I will stand by that 100% of the time. 10 toes down. 1998 Godzilla, fucking garbage. Don't watch it.
Add it to the list.
Add it to the
list. That sounds like a ringing endorsement.
Dude, it's so fucking ass. And I'm looking at a picture of it right now. The fucking dinosaur isn't even bigger than a normal sized tall building. That's a fucking T-Rex, bro. That's not fucking Godzilla. Get out of here. For fuck's sake, pisses me off. Anyway.
Yeah. Well, that's the one I've seen the most of. So. Well, until this. That's the Godzilla I know.
That's my Godzilla.
That's my Godzilla. The ending's pretty cool. I love that it is kind of a message of them kind of being independent by going with their plan on Godzilla, and I don't know, it's so cool how it It's really cool how it ends up. Like, I don't know. The people are just looking at the frozen Godzilla
Right.
as like a statue.
Holy shit! Sorry, so the other one I was talking about is Godzilla, King of the Monsters. It came out in 2019. This one's really good. Guess who's fucking in this movie?
Oh.
Millie Bobby Brown.
Oh yeah, I knew that.
I
knew
didn't
that.
remember that.
I remember seeing. I remember seeing the trailer for it, and she was in it. And
Yeah.
like, this was like hot off of like Stranger Things 2 or 3. So she was like the one who probably got the most attention. She's probably blossomed the most off of that show. The only ones more famous were people who are already famous, like Winona Ryder and David Harbour.
Right.
And
that one's cool because you get to see multiple monsters. Like, they bring in King Ghidorah and they bring in Mothra. So, like, I do like that one. We could add that to the list.
I know. We'll do it, man. You love these movies, and this is your pod too.
Hell yeah.
And I mean, I'm not dreading watching them.
Right.
So.
No, I feel you.
Yeah, but I guess my only other thing I want to say about this movie is that I understand they were kind of doing like a remake of the original in a way, or at least like a soft reboot, or like a soft remake. I guess my biggest issue is I sometimes don't know entirely what this movie wanted to be between like a remake of that movie and like its own thing, and like. You could say it wanted to be both, and that's fine. But I guess there's just didn't always feel like a fluidity between that. And part of that might have been like with what I mentioned, like the office scenes that start having like weird office music.
Right.
But I don't know. I guess there's just different things about this movie that I like more than the other. I like the diplomatic scenes, and I like when they're not dumb. And I don't know. I understand that was the purpose of Godzilla. I guess there's just something about it that still looks a little weird. At least in the beginning. The beginning, it just looks really weird to me. Like, I don't know.
No,
how his mouth
fair.
just hangs
That's
open.
100% fair.
I thought it was cool that, like, the blood stuff falls out of him. That was fucking crazy.
I mean, that's his fucking, like, his guts, bro. He's dragging his body on the ground.
Yeah, well, he's
the
like,
entire
he's
evolution.
That was a little weird. I thought he was like dying.
No, it was so like the whole trope of Godzilla is like it's a fucking radioactive mutant freak thing, and it can regenerate. And so with this one, it's evolving and regenerating, but it's always in agony in that particular form. It's just dragging its body on the ground, so it's just constantly being ripped open and being repaired. So like everything you see is just his insides that keep repairing itself, just dragging on the ground. It's fucking awful.
Yeah, that's fucking crazy. Okay, I guess what I'm saying is, I don't know. I thought that maybe some points the animation looked a little funky, and I think part of that is because I don't know. I don't think they had like the budget of like an American blockbuster Godzilla movie. You know what I mean? Right. And I think that could also have been why they decided to focus a little bit more on the government bureaucracy, like so that they can have like a chunk of the movie just be people in suits in rooms.
Yeah.
But like, which is fine. That makes movies. That's good for movies sometimes. Jaws was almost a monster movie with a giant mechanical shark the whole movie, and because they couldn't get it to work, it became this creepy thriller where a lot of the movie shot from the shark's perspective, looking at people's feet, and you're just wondering, oh shit, what's gonna happen?
Right.
It became like the best horror movie ever. You know what I mean?
No, absolutely.
So those are good things. That's that's when creativity shines. It's not when it gets limited.
Agree.
All right, we ready for our ratings?
I'm ready for my rating.
Probably not a surprise for you, right?
No, not a surprise for me. I'm going to give this one a 5 Squadcast podcast thumbs up out of 5. Nice and easy.
I've been juggling between 3.5 and a 4. Because, okay, you know what? I'll be honest. I had some kind of I don't know. I guess negative intent by watching the original this morning. because I thought, oh man, and I don't know, there was some parts of it that felt so like, oh wow, they're really leaning into it, that I'm like, are they just ripping off the old one? And more or less not really, to their credit. So I'll give it a 4 out of 5.
Hell yeah, that makes this Shin Godzilla a 4.5 out of 5. Squadcast
Okay.
podcast thumbs up.
Time to talk about holes.
Yeah, holes. What
I
a
am
throwback.
I'm pretty proud of recommending this one.
Dude, it's just fucking, it's a banger of a movie. It's a young Shia
Fucking
LaBeouf.
love this movie. I don't know anyone who doesn't love this movie.
You'd be hard pressed to find anybody who actually doesn't like it, I think.
I don't know, maybe someone who's like a real book truther. But I feel like this movie does the opposite of insult the book. I mean, yeah, it takes some stuff out, but like, because honestly, and this is kind of down the line in my notes, but I'll just start with this. I feel like a lot of the movie is really almost like, it almost encourages you to, hey, go check out the book, you know?
Right.
Because I don't know, it does a really nice and careful job with the book's story in a way where you are very interested in all the plot details and all the things that happen and all the characters. Like, yeah, I finished this movie like, damn, I kind of want to go. I actually did read it when I was like 10, but I really don't remember. Like, I know I read it, but I don't know much about it.
Yeah, I don't think I ever read the book.
Or I think I don't remember, like, I don't know. Because I've seen the movie so many times, it's so tough when I read a book where I've seen the movie first. Because, like, most of my memories of, like, the story are just going to come from the movie. I don't know. I can't explain it. And I don't know, sometimes I feel like I'm not really processing it when I'm reading a book that I've already seen the movie, because I'm just thinking about the movie while I'm reading it. So I don't know. That happened when I tried to read Harry Potter.
See, I got through the first 2, but I was at a stage in my life where reading wasn't like the thing for me yet.
Yeah.
And then so I got but I was like, I read a bunch of other dumbass books. Like I read, what was it? The entire series of the Day My Butt Went Psycho.
There you go.
That's when I was a kid, though. That's when I was a kid. Now I read a lot of
some classic American literature, right there.
Classic American. They made a show out of it. Yo, okay.
That's funny. Okay, well, speaking of butts, holes. Sorry, I couldn't help it.
Hey, it's okay.
So, yeah, I love a ton of things about this movie. Very, very quick synopsis. It's about a kid who gets a pair of stolen shoes landed on him and gets accidentally framed and sent to a juvenile prison camp where they dig holes. And you don't know why they're digging holes, but they just tell you it's part of the labor there to dig holes. And yeah, there's a lot of deep layers to this story, like, you know, the story or the history of the camp and the history of the main character Stanley's family. And without, you know, to keep it real quick, it all just comes together in a really cool and like compelling way that just leaves you very satisfied at the end.
Right.
So, but yeah, that I always knew about it. It was really fun getting to watch this again. I don't know, I can't tell you the last time I've actually watched it, but yeah, this was one I was excited to put on for this pod.
No, yeah,
Just to see. Well,
I really enjoyed this. I really enjoyed this rewatch.
Yeah. Well, yeah, you know, there's so many things I haven't seen since I was younger, and I wonder, like, do I still like it as much? And this is definitely one where I still like it just as much. In fact, I appreciate it more. First off, obviously it's paced very well. I only have one little pacing issue, but I also don't, which is like when they're intercutting some of the scenes with Kate Barlow as a teacher with Sam. They're kind of intercutting that in with when they're digging after he finds her lipstick in the hole. But to be fair, I don't know how they would have done that better. Like, I don't know. I can see how that was like the best option for them. So it just threw me off a little bit, is all. But other than that, the pacing of this movie is pretty much perfect.
Right. No. Yeah. I
Like
get that 100%.
from from scene to scene, you're getting new information in every scene. You're learning more about the characters in every scene. And it's just like a scene starts and ends at like the perfect time. Just nothing drags on. Another thing I didn't appreciate was, I don't know, this movie's very like humanizing, because when you normally think of prisoners or even like kids in juvenile halls, think of like, I don't know, I feel like society in a way has taught you to think of them like the lowest of the low for somewhat obvious reasons, like, they commit crimes or get locked up or whatever.
Right.
But this kind of shows, well, for one, the main character's in there, he's innocent. So you're already sympathetic to the fact that somebody who's in there shouldn't even be in there. But also because like it shows a lot of like camaraderie between the guys. I know at first they treat him like shit, but they all give each other nicknames and like they do a lot of things that like teenage boys do, like even if they're not in prison, like just amongst friends. I don't know. I just kind of appreciated that, like how it kind of, like it kind of made the point, like, hey, these kids could be just like you, even though they just screwed up a little bit,
Right. I mean, I think that's like that's like where what they really try, or maybe they're not like actually trying to do that, but that's something that, like they get at in the movie. It's like, hey,
Yeah.
like anybody can screw up, but these are just, they're just kids and they're out here just doing, kid
Right.
stuff on top of hard manual labor.
Yeah. The other thing I appreciated in this movie, I don't know. I know it's based on a book, so the book probably does a lot of this. But it's up to a movie to include like the crucial things that a book does in order to make a story flow well. And so it was kind of cool to see how like certain things caused the cause and effects of this movie, I guess. Like how, I don't know, I think I was always distracted by how much I hated X-Ray for just, stealing what Stanley found.
Right.
And being, not even stealing it, being like, you're going to give that to me. Or,
Right.
And, Stanley just backs down because he knows he can't do anything. And so but it's because that happens that they don't find the chest when they do the big dig out. And I don't know. I like how that works out. And there was another one. What am I thinking of? Oh, the fact that they ate all those onions, and yellow spotted lizards don't like onions.
Right.
So that's why they weren't getting bit.
Yeah, it's like
when they were in the hole covered by him. Like, I didn't realize that until I watched it
Until you
again
watch it
now.
again,
Like,
yeah.
oh, okay, that makes a lot of sense. Like, it doesn't make perfect sense, but it makes a lot more sense than it did before.
Right.
So, yeah. I don't know, a lot of my notes are just funny things, like the girl, like his great-great-grandfather trying to get the girl, and I don't know, I just thought that was a really funny part of that's just such a funny thing to write, whoever wrote it. That, like, you see this girl and she's looking at this handsome guy and you're like, obviously she wants him. Then it comes time and she's like, oh, I can't decide between him and this disgusting, hairy, fat bastard. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know, that is so, I don't know, it gets the giggles out of me.
No, I feel that. I mean, there was a lot of really good scenes in this. Obviously, one of my favorite scenes is the end one where Zero fucking fucking takes out Mr. Podansky with the shovel.
Yeah.
He just fucking lays him out and they dip off into the desert, bro. That shit is looking legendary. Like Zero is the hero.
Why does Pendansky hate him so much?
I don't know. Like, I don't think we ever get like true clarification as to why
And it's
Pendansky
fine.
hates
We
him
don't.
so much.
That's all right. We don't need it doesn't ruin the movie for me that we don't exist. I do wonder if that is like addressed in the book. Like if there's just something like I don't know. Maybe like in the book there's like a racial thing about it. I don't know because he really just seems to hate the kid for no reason, even though he doesn't talk and he does the best job digging holes.
Right, like he works
like,
hard,
okay.
He doesn't say shit, and he gets out the way. Like, why do you hate this kid so much? Why do you
Literally
hate a
the
kid?
intro? He's the only kid that he doesn't call by his real name. He calls literally his intro is we call him Zero because there's nothing going on in his stupid little head.
Yeah, bro. Like why
that is a child, sir?
Kid, bro, leave him the fuck alone, you creep.
Yeah, no. So I don't know. I imagine there's some more to that. I do feel like they beefed it up a little bit in that scene just to make it really, really satisfying when Zero hits him with the shovel.
Yeah.
But that's okay. I don't mind. Especially how they set it up. D-I-G. What's that spell? Woofang. Dig.
Yeah, no, that shit is legendary.
Also, yeah, I mean, we should talk about the cast. That's Tim Blake Nelson as Captain, as Pendansky. He's great. I love him and a lot of other stuff. John Voight, who is a piece of shit in real life, but is just so good at... Here's the thing, man. He's a piece of shit, and he's really good at playing a piece of shit. So it's like he might just be being himself.
Right.
Yeah, but he's really fucking good at that.
Just being himself, and to your point, he's just really good at being himself.
Yeah. But yeah, he's great, and Sigourney Weaver is she's one of my favorite actresses because of the Alien franchise. Add to the list. But her intro is like so like pseudo badass in my opinion. Like it's like it is badass. She comes in the car and she's like being the boss and stuff. But it also is just really because I'm watching this knowing exactly what kind of person she is, this character. And she comes in as like this big cool, I'm the pro prisoner warden. Make sure you get everybody's water filled. And then gives all this shit to Pendansky over when he says I already filled them. Which really doesn't do much for the prisoners. Like you're just getting them a couple more ounces of water. I did put in my notes though that it's also possible like she's just cool enough to know that they love watching people give shit to Pendansky when they can. Like because they were all laughing when that happened, and it was really, you could tell a lot of it was just when she shoved that water gallon into his chest. And then it's just like, hell yeah, fuck that guy.
Yeah, it's like, fuck this guy. It makes you feel good.
Yeah, and I don't know when Mr. Sir brings Stanley in about the sunflower seeds, and you could see an annoyed, I know what's gonna happen in this scene, right? So I'm looking at her right away, and on her, you can already tell she's got just like this subtly annoyed look on her face, like this is what you brought this kid in here for,
right?
and then she calms down and does the whole rattlesnake venom nail polish thing, and then when he's in the middle of talking, whacks him.
Right.
The last line is, I think I liked you better when you smoked. I don't know, that's really good. And then it just makes freaking Mr. Sir wig out for the rest of the day. The guy's like, what's wrong with your face?
Right.
Something wrong with my face? Throws him. Something wrong with my face? I think I look kind of purty, don't you? I almost did that for the intro, but I thought it was a little too out there. I don't know. I like the Yelnats, the fifth line better. There's probably another line in here I probably could have used too. There's some good ones. I love the nicknames. Armpit, Magnet, Zigzag.
Yeah, no, they got real creative with those nicknames.
Yeah. Caveman.
Caveman.
Oh, and we also yeah, we didn't talk much about like the background story of Kate Barlow,
Oh yeah,
which is
the
like just
origin of Kit and
yeah,
Kate Barlow.
it's cool. It's like another layer to the story, and it connects to Stanley because she robbed his great grandfather. But yeah, I don't know. It
And
was a
then
very
and then
early
Sam
time
getting
in my life to be
murdered.
watching a movie that has a story that like is so tragic. You
Yeah,
know?
and it's a Disney movie.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Which is you have to like it's a
Yeah. They
Disney movie that it has a absolutely tragic and kind of fucked up
right.
story.
Well, I don't know what other pod I said this on, Lachow. But well, I definitely said it about the Lion King a couple times. You know, Lion King starts with the father dying, right?
Yeah.
And like a lot of people in theaters are like, I can't believe I took my kid to see this. This is horrible. What the hell? But nowadays, Lion King's looked at as one of the best animated movies of all time.
Right.
What I'm saying is, the best kids movies are the ones that have a little balls in them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Also, maybe this is just a hot take, but kids are kind of less sensitive to bad shit that happens, aren't they? Like, I don't know.
Well, they
I
don't
saw
understand
some.
for the most part. I feel like
Right, they don't
like,
understand. There are some movies that like disturb me more as an adult, way more than they did as a kid, because I'm actually thinking way more about like circumstances of like horrible things happening to people.
Right. Yeah,
I don't know.
the same thing doesn't happen as a kid. You're just watching the movie because it's a
Right.
movie about lions.
So honestly, in some ways, yes, obviously there's a line that can get crossed, but like, yeah, more the best ones are the ones that have the guts to do that and like hit kids with like some early truths, you know.
Absolutely.
But no, it's good and it's cool. It's cool in how it kind of radicalizes Kate Barlow, but I honestly wonder because this movie already has a 2-hour runtime, and you know it is a kids Disney movie. I know the Disney execs. Okay, guys, we don't need like a 2.5 hour movie here. This is just a fun movie here.
Right.
And also just for the sake of pacing, it would have probably not been great if it was longer like that. 2 hours is nice and good, especially for like a deep layered story like this. The reason I'm bringing this up is because I wonder if they would have showed more of her story like after Sam, but they just didn't have time because at a certain point they just kind of switched it over to like a musical montage and like papers and of people she killed and robbed with like just like clips of her riding on her horse with her guys, which is fine. Like that's not a problem. I wonder if there was like they were gonna shoot more, or if they did shoot more and there's like deleted scenes or something. I would be curious in seeing that.
No, absolutely. Like they probably could have extended it a bit, but again, to your point, because it was a Disney kids movie, like there was really too much of a need to keep going past the 2 hour mark. And some things might have got a little bit more muddied, I guess, if they would have gone farther. 'Cause who knows? They could have like completely fucked the movie over if they kept going. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but even her death is like tragic.
It is. It is. It's
She
so
willingly
sad.
gets
It's like,
bit by
what
a
the
yellow
fuck?
spotted lizard. And also, that's speaking of cast. That's Patricia Arquette. She's amazing. She's an incredible actress. She's in a great movie called Boyhood that she won an Oscar for. But she's in a lot of other good things too. You've probably seen her around.
Yeah.
Yeah, her acting in that is fantastic. There was one little annoying thing, which is, you know how she like makes a laughing sound as she's dying?
Yeah.
I don't know. I like even cut it back a second. It sounds different than how her voice sounds as like she like takes her last breath, and you're not showing her mouth. So I kind of
Maybe it
think
was
that might have been a little bit of
process.
that was ADR.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think that was ADR. And I don't know, something about that annoys me a little bit. Like they just had her real performance and like of her dying, and they're like, no, we need her to be happy that she's dying. So we'll just throw in this little. I don't know. It's just I don't know. Some about that just sounds kind of silly to me. But like I don't know. It's fine. I wonder if they should have just let it keep it as her main performance without having to add that.
Yeah.
But it's fine.
No, I get it.
And that scene is so crazy. Like, okay. And also, because it's in my notes, I have to bring up another thing that I didn't notice until, like, growing up. And this one, admittedly, is a bit more obvious. I didn't realize, I guess because I was thinking of other things, I didn't realize that Twitch the car thief, when he comes in, that's what gives Stanley the idea to steal the water truck. I didn't realize that because when they show his first scene and they show Stanley looking at him, it's almost kind of looking like he's looking at it like, oh god, this kid's I had Zero and now we have this like weird kid.
Right.
Like I always think that's what like he's thinking, but I didn't realize he's thinking, oh.
Right. Like, oh. No.
And maybe, I guess it's not totally obvious. It's not really presented that like perfectly because I got like a different thought. I wonder if the book talks about it more. I've said that a lot in this pod, but I really, yeah. I'm telling you, the movie encourages you to read
We get it, Dan. You're gonna read the book.
I also like that they're mostly subtle about Zero being a descendant of Madame Zeroni. They do mention it at the end, but it's like when he's concluding the story.
Right.
But like, I don't know, the movie, I don't know, it treats its audience like it's smart, even though it's a kids movie. Like let you kind of connect the dots of that. Like, oh, Zeroni. I don't know. It's nice. Yeah. It lets you think a little.
It does. It does a good job with that.
And okay, wrapping this up a little bit, I just have a couple more things. Just that the argument, I don't know if you noticed. I don't know. Well, Zero is so okay. So we find Zero. They go up God's thumb. They get the onions, and then they like, wait, I definitely know where that chest is. So they come back, and Zero's got to steal the shovels. And Pendansky and Mr. Sir are in in like a garage, just you just hear Pendansky, you left the keys in a truck in front of a bunch of juvenile delinquents. Like, I don't know, it's just funny to me. It's like, you're probably going to make me pay for it. Like, who do you think is going to pay for it? It's your truck.
Right? Like, what do you think?
I don't know. They're such good actors that it just sounds so funny hearing them, like, yell at each other. It sounds like a real argument.
Right.
Yeah, and so, yeah, the way it wraps up is really great with Zero being able to read Stanley's name on the chest, and they find out how crappy the camp counselors are, and yeah, it's like they're being taken away, everything is all right, and then to like cap it off, it starts to rain. Well, they're all just so happy. Like, that is such a good scene. Right. All the guys in their orange jumpsuits were covered in dirt, and they're just like, now they're all just wet from the rain, and they're all just like, I don't know, it's such a great moment of like team celebration. It feels like it looks like a team that just won a championship in something.
Seriously.
Yeah, I love that, and maybe it goes a little too well for them because I still think Rick Fox would be mad about the kid that stole his shoes.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I'd be pretty pissed about it.
But whatever. Well, sploosh commercials. I don't know about you. I've always wanted to try sploosh because I know people just say that it's like, oh, it's just peaches and peach water, but nah, man, that's 100-year aged. There's some magic shit. There's some magic potion shit in there for sure.
No, absolutely. That's just gonna make you sprout wings.
Save Zero's life. There's something beautiful about the fact that Sam, 100 years after being murdered, saved a kid's life.
Yeah.
Anyway. Then I also like the last line of the movie where he goes, I guess you have to fill in the rest of the holes yourself. And then it goes into the the iconic theme song. Dig it up, oh, dig it. Dig it up, oh, yeah. You got to go dig the... I almost opened the intro with that. I almost opened the intro. I almost started going. Yeah, no, there's just so much to love about this movie. I could talk for days, but then this podcast would be... I could talk for way longer. This podcast would be 2 hours long, and right now it's 1 hour long. Probably keep it at that. Ready for the ratings?
Yeah.
Yeah, no drama from... I don't even think we need to give our ratings. People, you could just know right away that right off the bat it's 5. 5 out of 5 for me. I don't know. Maybe it's something else.
It's gonna be a 5.
Yeah, this is... This is another one I'm going to be showing my kids, and they're going to be showing their kids. It is just a very well-rounded book-to-movie adaptation, and just a great movie, no matter what age you are. That's a big thing.
I agree.
More of an all-ages movie than a kids movie. All right, we did it.
We did it! Yeah!
Yay!
Woo! Birthday pod! And actually, I would like to. I'd like to have an edit for the beginning of the pod, guys. This is episode 30, big 30, and it's a birthday episode.
Yeah, and it's a birthday episode. All right. Wow. Well, that's okay. We only said it like twice.
Yeah. It wasn't that big of a deal. I just was like, yes. I'll correct it at the end.
Yeah, man, we've never been good with that, but
Never
it's
have, but okay. It's all right. 30 episodes.
30 episodes in, baby.
And we're
gonna keep
it going. We did it. Yeah.
Keep it going, man.
Hell yeah.
All right. Well, thank you all for listening. This was a really fun episode. Thank you, Latrell, for doing it with me. Thank you for your recommendation. And we are out of here. Have a good day. Have a good
day.